Alrighty, so I got the cables all hooked up underneath this baby. There we go. Now it's all processing. Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Subnauticraft or Ocean Block 2. So today, it is time we are finally going to be automating our sluicing. I already moved them all over to here. I also added an extra one to prepare us for all of the things that are going to transpire today, because we now do have the blaze meshes. And also, I discovered something. Apparently, this one for the dirt can't actually use blaze. Yeah, because if we look at dirt and then go over to sluice, it only uses cloth and iron mesh for a bunch of stuff that I don't actually need. So at the very least, if it's just for the rest of these three, this should be fine for now. But before we can actually put these blaze meshes in these things, we are actually going to need to do a few things. Firstly, we're going to need to actually upgrade our sluices to a diamond level. So we can just plop those right there, and there we go. Now these guys are all ready and raring to have blaze meshes. What? Blazing mesh doesn't fit in the diamond? Okay. So, but I don't have netherite yet. Hey, Future Cookie here, and welcome to the Future Cookie Island. So, yeah, something clearly has gone wrong. As I had said, I could not put the blazing mesh into the diamond sluice. I had to put it into a netherite sluice. For netherite, we just needed to get ourselves some netherite scraps that I was able to get by using a normal diamond mesh, but by using basalt and lava. For lava, that was easy. I just used a tempered glass jar and a cobblestone generator to be able to make myself infinite amounts of lava. And as for the basalt, that's where I spent the rest of the video, actually. I set up a whole system to be able to automate basalt breakings and stuff, when eventually, in a later version of the mod pack, which I would update to in a few videos later, we got the basalt generator, which, as it sounds like, generates basalt in the same way as the cobblestone generators, thus rendering the entire video completely useless. But fortunately, in the very next recording session, I would then endeavor to get myself the smithing template, as you are all about to see. Anyways, back to the past. Airdrop. What are the chances that we get a smithing template from this? I am very curious. Okay, so my plan for me to get the smithing template is to go to the nether, get the bastion and all that, but it's going to be very difficult, and I discovered that there's a jetpack. It's a very cheap jetpack. It requires power, and that's that sort of thing, but we may not need to do that at all, actually. Hang on a minute. I'm talking about this now. What are the chances of God deciding to throw me a bone? Because I like my bones from God. I'm a good dog. We got a pickaxe. And we got a coil, actually. I'm gonna want that. We got another thermal generator. That's good. I actually gotten one of those previously. So getting those now is actually really good because it'll help us with more power generation. I can't really use any of these, and I don't know how much I'm gonna use Subnauticraft. Yeah, that looks like it. Okay. Do I want to take this? Because, I mean, yeah, I've already taken some of those before for when I actually set up my mob farm, which I will be able to do once we get this base set up. I have a special thing in mind for the mob farm. I don't know if I'll do that in this video, but I do have a very nifty idea with it. Okay, so we didn't get the smithing template, so we are going to need to make the jetpack. But this is still pretty cool. So yeah, just go ahead and send these into here. Oh, hey, look, gold. We need that for the netherite. So how do we get our jetpack? It is very simple. We just need some leather, which I fortunately was able to get somehow. I don't actually know how I got them. No, right, because I can't get cows. So I had gotten it from a Wilden wing, which on the mushroom islands that spawn really far outwards, some of the Wilden mobs from ours will actually spawn. and I got it from those guys. So, yeah, coming in handy. Oh, actually, something else I forgot to mention. I finally updated the mod pack, so I actually get to see where the mobs are now. Because I don't remember that being a thing before on here, but yeah, no, they're there now. And also, a lot more quest lines have been unlocked. We got a power generation one. That's fun. We've got ones for magic now. That's really cool. It's just a bunch of added things, and hopefully there won't be any bugs that I may come across, because I did come across a bug with the building gadget and the copy paste thing. So hopefully that's not here in this new version. That's why I primarily updated it. But I don't know. Anyway, that's all side stuff. So now we got all these. We just need to go ahead and grab ourselves a redstone block and also 2 blaze powders, which we are getting from this. So that's very nice. We can now go ahead and make ourselves our jetpack. And there we go. So is this like a curio? Can I wear this on my body? No. So now we got ourselves a jetpack. We're a few points behind, but that's fine. So how do we power this thing? It needs to have air or RF, which is very easy because with my pocket generator that I had gotten previously, this will now send power into this thing. And look at that. It's actually very easy. And the best part is with us making in the last video. Ooh, but I don't have a way to resist fall damage. Is there slime boots? Is there slime boots? No. Okay, wait, there's a springy boot in relics, but that comes from loot crates. Okay, so I can't get those right now. I don't think it'll be a problem, but that should be fine. But as I was trying to say, with us getting the Primogel goo in the last video, we now actually have a way of getting a better fuel source in this pocket generator, because this thing is fueled by burnables. The best burnables, though, is this primal coal and other things from the Just Dire Things mod that will increase how much Fe a tick we get. It's very easy to get. We just need to surround this thing here with coal blocks, and then we get it just fine. It's a good thing I have feather falling on my osmium boots, so hopefully that's not a problem. Alrighty, so now we've got everything we should need for the expedition in this. We just need to go to the nether and hopefully find ourselves a bastion with the netherite smithing template.
Later.
Okay, so there may be a problem. I did have to actually restart the mod pack because it just sort of almost crashed. It like completely froze on me. So there may have we may have problem that I will need to sort out, but for now, let us hope that that is not the case. So I saw on my map there is a bastion over this way.
5 minutes later.
Where is this thing? Is it supposed to be that big? Let's just head over here and see. Yeah, we're in the bastion now. So we got it ready. Okay, I'm not wearing gold though. I have remembered that was a problem. Oh gosh, and I lost a lot of health from that. Okay, that's not fun. Okay, well, I have myself some building blocks that I can use. Try and get down to that chest, but we need that chest. That chest will hold the key to everything. Build it up, build it up, build up, build. Okay, we built. It's done. Oh, you're dangerous. Okay, we got that guy out of the way. Good thing I got the famous spell Avena Cadabra. Oh, hello. Goodbye. You can't beat Avena Cadabra. Oh shoot, he's stronger than Avena Cadabra. The legally distinct smell. Well, I am quite hurt, so I may need to use my healing spell, Anal Recovery. I'm a mature adult, I swear. Okay, so we got these guys now. There's still a bunch of them down there, so I'm gonna need to clear them out just a little bit. Let's just get rid of you guys. I am out of my magic, but we should be fine. So if I go down a little bit more, can I reach it? No. And you're there. So, okay. Can I reach it now? Yes, I can. And there's a gapple. There was not a smithing template in that. Is there any other chests? There's another section over here. So, oh, there are some other chests. If I can lead some of them over here then, Okay, so just, yeah, walk off the sides. Walk off the sides. There we go. And now they're trapped in there. Okay. And now I can access their chests, no problem. A blazing flask. Okay, that's gonna be cool. We gotta check that out later. That's cool. Cool stuff is here. But smithing tablet! Yes! We got everything now. I'm pretty sure my boat was over here on this side. So let's... I'm gonna get all that back because it seems like whenever I cross dimension, I start lagging. So I'm gonna get that sorted out. And then we'll be right back.
20 minutes later.
Alrighty, so I managed to get all my stuff back. I had to restart the pack several times. So yeah, I don't want to deal with that. I'm just gonna hang up the jetpack for right now because that is like, that is not okay. But there we go. Now we have ourselves our smithing template, which means now all we really need is to just go ahead and then duplicate this thing a few times, and then we can get this going. So I will say, this one right here for the basalt, that cannot use the blazing mesh. So I'm actually only going to need to make 4 of these. Let's see how many times I can duplicate this thing. About twice. So that leaves us with 3 of them. That means I need to move this thing back over here and get that whole setup going then, okay? Actually, you know what? It occurs to me, I don't need to actually hook that thing up over there at all, which I just discovered. But when you think about it, this thing will actually make straight up diamonds if we get the blaze mesh setup going. So all we need to really do is actually get ourselves our first piece of netherite. And so it's like, I don't need to make them all at once. I can make them all in increments. So now, when we make all of this together, we now have ourselves our netherite sluice. So let's go ahead, drop a little chest right here, plop in our blazing mesh, there we go, and then throw in some gravel. Oh no. Oh no. No. It needs power. Gosh, dang it, man. I do have the thermoelectric generator, but I don't know if I have a way to transfer the power. Okay, well, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. I got these solar panels. So, if I put this right back here, okay, it's not actively doing anything. If I put it on top, you can't do that. Okay. I guess then what I can do is I should have some, yeah, I got some cables from Mechanism. So if I go ahead and then plop that there we go. Okay. And we got another diamond. Beautiful. So this thing does require power, but it can't generate it with this in the way. Alrighty, so I got the cables all hooked up underneath this baby. So now, all we really need to do is just hook up the hopper underneath this, and it starts transferring the power. But those pulsating things will only actually work when the sun is up. So I am going to want to go ahead and make myself another power source very, very soon. Probably actually in this video. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, but it looks like it is gaining quicker than it's going to be going. But there we go. We got another one of these all ready and raring to go. So that now puts us at 3. Which means we now have enough for everything. So I just need a few more diamonds to be able to ensure that I still have one of these and I don't need to do that ever again.
Eventually.
I have everything now. I got all of the smithing templates. So now we can go ahead and make our sluices. And I did have 4 of the templates. I just had one of them put away already. So no, I did not just use them all like a Dumbo. We got everything absolutely ready and incorporated. So now, we just need to go ahead and throw the rest of these guys with sluices. And there we go. They are all connected, but it doesn't look like they're getting power. And that is because of these things being very weak and it being nighttime. I don't want to have to deal with this, so I have decided to set up my thermoelectric generators, which we can fortunately set up also right here. I just need to go ahead and then plop these guys down. That way we got water over here on the cooling side, And then we can go over here and then have magma blocks on the heating side. Then, after this, hopefully I can hook these up from the bottom. We can just go ahead and then transfer power out of these babies. And then we should be getting a little bit more. And yes, we are. Now, if I am correct, I do believe that these things will increase if I add more sides with hot and cold. This was just something rudimentary to sort of make sure that this would work. But yeah, it looks like it'll work well enough. Okay, so that should be better, having both of them covered from both sides like this, and then have two sides also connected with the water. That should be good. So then after that, yes, it is definitely more effective. So then after that, we can just go ahead and then send the power through. Now, the hotter those blocks are, or the colder these blocks are, will increase how effective this is. So if I was to get, say, blue ice over these things, that would make this thing even better. And I believe the hottest is like uranium or something, but I don't entirely know how to get uranium. There is the chunks. If there is another way for me to get uranium, at this moment, there's only... Oh, hello. Ortec has a way. Oh, I can't do that yet, though. Okay, so this could be a bit more reliable in the future, but for right now, it looks like it's going to go something like this. Now, all we really need to do is just sort of set up a way to automatically have all these guys go into chests, and then set up a drawer wall right over here for me to get that.
1 hour later.
Alrighty, here we go. I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is the drawer wall is done. It is a little snug right around here, but I mean, that's not a big problem, especially since I am going to be removing the giant pod here soon. So that shouldn't be a problem. But for the bad news that we have, you guys remember how I've been having lag and problems whenever just anything happened when I went through the portal? Well, it started happening after another airdrop came, which tells me that it was just going to be a pressing issue. So I had to downgrade the pack back to the 3.0 version that I was already in. So it's not really relevant. But now we have the drawer wall put into place with all the stuff configured. So we should be ready. So now what I can do to pipe all of these things in, because these chests are just intermediary. What we want is we want to have... You see, we actually don't want that there. You see, we actually don't want that there. Is there any way I can not have that pipe there? Yeah. Oh, I have never seen a wrench with a durability. I don't like that at all. But that is fine. So we can go ahead and connect all these things here. Disconnect at... Not that one. At those intervals... There we go. So now they should all be good. And then we just want to go ahead and then have all of these set to export. So that way it should not really shimmy all the stuff around. You know, we don't really like when it does that. But now it'll start piping all of this out into here. One problem that is going to persist is this thing back here with the crushed netherrack and stuff. How exactly do I intend to automate that? Well, we actually have this thing right here called a controller access point, which I can actually configure to go over in this thing just by connecting it. So now that thing is connected, but it's also touching that cobble generator, which may in fact end up start putting cobble in there. I did actually have a plan for that, but well, it turns out that I didn't need my other plan at all, so that's fine. And then after that, we just go into here with our polar upgrade to then pull down netherrack from there. I've actually had it set to be the double compressed one, just because that's going to be way better. So we won't actually know if it'll work until this thing is on. So now all that remains for us to do is to just hook all of these hoppers up. And there we go. Now it's all processing. Okay, and then very soon enough, we should get ourselves a bunch of the netherrack. And yeah, now that one is... It's there. But this does not want to pull it. Alrighty, so I just moved this one right down here. And then I connected it all the way over to here. It was the only way I really could figure out to do it. It's because the controller connector just was not working. But there we go. Did you like this video? Good. Be sure to check out our last Subnauticraft where we automated steel. Bye-bye!